Valentine's Day on Friday. It's a long weekend. But you know what's even better? We're still doing small biz breakdown, folks. And I have the crew assembled. The crew being Leland McFarland. Hey, Leland.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Let's see how it's going in Medina with
Hey,
Eva
everyone.
Taylor.
Hey.
Good to see you all. It's chilly, but it's sunny and gorgeous.
Chilly, sunny, and gorgeous. Well, if it's got to be chilly, it's good that it's sunny and gorgeous when it's chilly. Speaking of sunny and gorgeous, this is a tough segue, folks. Ramon Ray.
Definitely sunny.
I didn't know where you were going to go there, Brent. You got three options, but good to be here. I am healthy and gorgeous, having an apple and some nuts and raisins and walnuts. So I am blessed and well, Brent. Good to be here with the
Nuts,
people.
raisins, and walnuts. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Speaking of nuts, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to go to Shashi in DC. Hey, Shashi.
Hey everyone,
How's it going in the nation's capital?
it's all calm, quiet. Just ignore the news.
He just ignored
Stop, Brent. Stop it.
I
Brent!
just asked, you know. All right, let me go back. Let's get to a sense of calm, a sense of statues, a sense of who am I kidding? We're just going to John Lawson. All right, hold on a second. All that build up for him. Let me bring in the cold one, the bold one. I'm not going to say the old one anymore. John Cold Rice Lawson.
Are we going to go with sunny, gorgeous?
No, we're definitely not going with that. I was going more with what Ramon said, nuts.
Don't set me up like that. You know, I got comebacks for all that. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Happy Valentine's Day to all
Happy
my sweethearts
Valentine's
out
Day.
there.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I guess you guys too.
Oh,
I'm talking
Okay.
about all the greater world of sweet peoples.
the greater world.
Yes.
He just like put all of us down in one foul swoop. There,
Yeah.
you know, the same. All right, so since it is Valentine's Day, why don't we each go around? There's no table, the virtual table, I guess, and just say, what do you individually love for small business? Like, why do you love small business so much? Even I see your head is up and to the left there, thinking.
Why I love small business?
Yes.
You know, it is St. Valentine's Day. And the reason that I love small business is because my experience of all small business owners, whether they're in the virtual world like we are, or whether they are brick and mortar local businesses, is an insane love and commitment to their community, wherever that is. There is a sense of partnership and working towards a mutual benefit, helping each other. I think we could all use a little bit more of that.
All right, Shashi.
Yeah, I think it's probably the best country in the world to start a business and have a life, take care of your family, and drive the economy. So that's why I love small businesses.
Very nice and succinct. Well, since Ramon is eating, we'll just go to John. Just let Ramon get his chew on first. So, Mr. Lawson.
Yeah, I love small business because it's an opportunity and it's a great equalizer. All businesses start small. So that's why I like it.
All right, Mr. Ray.
Hey, Brent. I think for me, from my own personal experience, I could talk about all small business, but I think my personal experience in some way reflects all, is the risk. Today was a rough day for me. I had this paperwork, that paper, no different than what you all do. You know, just today from my turn was just a rough day of this and that and the other and clicking here, this not working, why isn't it working? Dealing with different agencies of our government, paying this, paying that. Just, it was a pain. But yet, on days like this, I don't like it. But on most days, just that risk, that let's make it work. Do I get the sale or not? I enjoy that. So that's for me what I think about small business, Brent.
Nice. For me, I was just thinking about this. I haven't had to sit in a cubicle since the 90s. And I bet if I was working for a big company, I would not be able to say that. You know, there's something to be said about, I might not be, have the biggest title or the biggest whatever. But I value my time and I value being able to do things my way for the most part. And I think that's what small business is, why I love it. It allows me a bit of more freedom to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, when I want to do it. And I don't think I could get that any other way. So that's really one of the main reasons I love small business.
What about you, Leland?
I love the versatility that comes with small business. You want to do something part-time while you're working a job to build something up, you could do that. You want to find some means to actually earn incomes passively, vending machines or laundry mats or something like that, to where it's very little work, but you get some good rewards. Yeah, you could do that too. You want to go all in, quit your job, start up a yoga studio or a florist shop. You could do that as well. It's so versatile and the opportunities are near infinite. And that's ultimately why I love it.
Nice. All right. Now we got all the niceties out of the way. No, just kidding. All right. So I usually like to start off with a bit of a little question, a little quiz of sorts. And now that we got through the love, it's time to get back to normal. All right. So, and this one comes from Sashi. So Sashi, you cannot guess on this one.
Okay.
Right. Okay. All right. So here's kind of the first our starter for this week. What percentage of Americans work for big businesses now? And big business meaning 500 plus workers.
40%.
Ramon coming out strong, 40%.
40% of the working economy. I don't think it's funny saying, ha, 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 60 people don't work at all. So, I'm talking about 40% of those who are working.
Okay.
That's a good number.
I'll say 50.
I'll go 30. I'll go
He's
35.
So we got 35, we got 40, we got 50.
Oh man, you guys are like taking all my numbers. I feel like Price is Right again. I'm gonna go with 37.
37. Wasn't it what was that statement? I don't know how long ago it was, but the US economy runs on small business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, does that factor into what your guess was?
Yeah.
I think that, it does. But I think that statement, Brent, I hear that, and I'm a small business champion. All of our friends at SMB companies do it. But the moment 10 of the biggest businesses are out, our economy crashes and is done. So let's just face it. So it's cute. Small businesses run. They're talking about the collective. I get it. Our dog walkers, our cleaners, and all that. We need that. But I just wanted to put it in context. So it sounds yay, but 10 to 15 of all randomly any biggest brand, they go out of business, we are all screwed.
So you're sticking to your 60.
Yeah, no, 40.
No, 40. You're
yeah.
40.
Mhm.
And is everybody sticking to their guess?
Yeah.
All right. You said 50, right, John?
Yes.
All right. And even it said 37.
Yeah.
And
Good
Leland,
memory.
what did you say again? It was
35.
35. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere around. All right. So the range is 35 to the
50.
50, right?
60.
No, 50.
Somebody
'cause-
50. Okay.
No. Well, John said 50.
Okay.
Ramon said what? 60?
I said 40.
40. All right, there we go. All right, the answer is the U.S. is no longer a nation of small business. 53% of Americans work for big businesses now with 500 plus workers. That's a big shift from 1980s, 90s, early 2000s. And I love this. It made a little graphic about how it went and switched. So it is now not a nation that runs on small business. It's big enterprise. Let's go back to this. The bottom part here. Why did this happen? Anybody want to take a shot as to why this happened? Why the shift to big enterprise versus small business? Anyone want to take a shot at that?
COVID. Easy.
The
Small business. Yeah.
It was
Tag.
2000. The X happened at 2005. Can you bring that chart back up?
Yeah, let me go to
Yeah, there we go.
It happened right. No, it happened before, well before
Oh,
COVID. Actually,
2008 or something like that.
yeah. So that. Oh, then we
There
all
you
know.
go.
Now we know why.
Now we know why.
2008. We all knew what was going on back then, right? That was
Yeah.
the original the crash, the housing
The
crash, the
housing
financial markets
market.
crash, everything.
Yeah, but that's when it crossed. That's not when it started
Correct.
gaining.
Well, let's see how
Mm.
dramatic it was. Let's see how dramatic it was.
That was a pretty dramatic. I mean,
It was pretty dramatic. You see what happened. It was a pretty
Hey, look at-
dramatic thing.
Who's a math
Yeah,
person?
it's like
Look
if
at
you
the
go
slope
to
of that
go to
line.
that dip. What year is that dip? Just before the
That's that's 2005, isn't it?
Well, it looks like you guys said, looks like 2008-ish is where it actually crossed.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying the
But
dip
it almost-
just before that. What is
It
that
almost
year?
crossed in 2000, which
Can't
was
see it.
another boom. Remember the internet.com boom?
Yes.
It's like every boom, there's something that happens where small businesses die and they run back to companies. It looks like.
Yeah, but
I-
remember 89? There was a crash in 89. It didn't seem to do too poorly.
Oh, I didn't care because I was just in college.
Right.
I wasn't worried about all that.
I think Ramon gave a clue in the morning when he was talking about like it was a bad day. He had to do a lot of things for his small business. It's that got like it as it became so difficult to start a small business and people started shutting down lemonade stands. Plus the increase in salary in all the tech sectors probably contributed to that too. I think it should become even easier to set up a business, less licenses and regulations that are not necessary.
And Shashi, to your point, I was on the train, Shashi, just yesterday. And, I say it because for me, I rarely do I go in the city now post-COVID. I used to go there several times, sit in the context. But I was in the city yesterday and look at the people, and I'm like, wow, it must be nice to put in a backpack, get on the train at 7:30, go to a gleaming office tower, or work from home, put your little headset on, and go to your 8 to 10 hours and do your play with your dog, and your kids are there. And every 2 weeks, a direct deposit comes into your bank account. It must be nice. That is not my world. I mean, that's my world. I pay myself, but it's like to make that money, it's not easy. It's not easy.
I pay myself last. So as a business owner, you get paid last. And we get the leftovers, the table scraps.
That's right.
It's out here. It's hard.
That's right.
This ain't for everybody. So enjoy your 2-week check.
That's right. And people asking us, John, oh, it's Columbus Day. Are you off today? I'm going to give you the same question you ask me every holiday. I mean, sure, I'm here with you watching something, but I got business to do. Don't tell me, get off your phone, Ramon, or get off your laptop. Nope, not going to happen.
Yeah. And I love it. That's the part I love.
Yes,
But
exactly.
did we get an answer to the question?
Yeah. Do you
What
have an answer
happened?
to it?
What happened?
I still say it's the internet. But
Like more of a the early adopter internet, and then you're saying that
I'm
the
saying broadband.
broadband
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
that more. But see, all of this makes me think that more people would be starting businesses, not less. Because my observation has been that the barrier to entry to start all kinds of businesses has been much lower. It would have never occurred to me to start a business or to do anything without the support and the technology that we enjoy.
I think both things are true.
But
I
if you
think
look at
people do
this,
start more businesses, but of course they also go out of business fast.
yeah, but look at this chart. This is a trend. I mean, this isn't just something that happened overnight. Look, it's a continuing trend, and that's been going throughout the pandemic and throughout everything. Even with all the layoffs, it still looks like the trend is more people are working at bigger companies.
Can I say getting customers is hard? I just said earlier that I was a disillusioned marketer. At least the people that I have been talking to, I mean, that's always been a conversation. But getting customers is hard.
There's another thanks, Ivana. There's another factor that I suddenly thought of is the downward trend also started when globalization started. like small businesses, it was cheaper to import stuff because of the internet than buy locally.
So that goes back to what John said. It's the internet, because the internet
Yep.
enabled all that stuff.
I think that
E-commerce is a culprit.
John,
I think
Miller.
that the tech becoming more cheaper and more people working in the tech sector, as I think as Shashi said, just it's like Facebook, few employees at around that time. Now it's thousands, tens of thousands. Apple, same thing. IBM, still had a lot of people, but they even have more now. All of these tech companies and ones that you can't even think of, you don't think of, that are in the background making small little components and parts for the tech, they're eating up a lot of the people, because it's such a high demand commodity that we got to have a lot of people in that sector.
And I mean, look at Main Street. I mean, we don't need Main Street anymore. Before, you needed Main Street. I needed to go to the butcher. I needed to go to the bank. I needed to go to, someplace to get my shoes fixed, tailoring, all of that. We don't need that anymore. It all happens magically through the internet,
Through giant businesses
through giant businesses
who are hiring more people to do the things that small businesses used to do. And that's why I say getting
That's all the
customers is
things.
hard.
all the
Getting
things.
customers and keeping them is hard, and making money
Walmart.
is hard.
Walmart. That's part of the problem. Not I'm to say
Yep.
problem, but I mean, yeah, a super Walmart goes into an area and it literally puts 100 businesses out of business.
But I think, John, going back to what you said about the internet, I do think, don't forget the distractions. I think that's a secondary part of it. No matter these businesses here, it's just hard to get people's attention. People are busy. So I don't know what share that is. I'm not like a digital economist, but just imagine that, before 3 channels or whatever it was. So I guess even just to reach people, it's not 7 touches. No, it's 50 touches, 40 touches, reminding you. And though, combined with, as you said, John and Ivana, so many choices we have. Should I do this with Ramon? Well, I can go on this database and see 50 like Ramon. So it's just difficult.
All the things, man.
Yeah. Some days I wish I had jobs like y'all. When I think of Leland sitting there in his little townhouse, pulling down $250K a month, easy, just doing nothing. I think of Shashi. He could ring a bell right now and Chai will come on his right hand right now. I think of Ivana, like a little, DIY marketers, $1 million a month day. It's like, and John, forget about it. Like what? His 30th book, he's at a New York Times bestseller. Brent Leary flying like on private jets everywhere to every company in the world. I wish I had your life.
Yeah,
I wish I
because
did.
that's what it looks like, right, Ramon?
In his brain.
Yeah. In other words, like what the kids say, stop the cap. Just stop it.
I
Okay,
love
Yeah,
it.
Let the kids say it.
Yeah, I know.
But, Ramon, thank you for the dream.
I sound kind of stupid saying.
Hey, that's right. I'll accept it. I'll take it.
Ah.
Thank you.
Interesting stuff. So basically, we don't know why this has happened.
I think we do. I think
we
we've
do that.
identified all the reasons.
Yeah,
And you know what? I think the big thing that brings it all together, that for some reason we don't seem to acknowledge, or a lot of people don't realize, is everything is interconnected. Right? Like you can't pull on it. It's almost like, what are those things called? Like a mobile, and you pull on one string and then all of the things here shake.
Mm.
Okay, that's a
I mean,
mic drop.
one name.
Was that a
we
mic
haven't
drop?
mentioned.
Yeah, I like the mobile. I like that.
I think
John, you mentioned Walmart, but the bigger name than that is Amazon.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we started buying stuff to Ramon's dream, just sitting and clicking a button,
Yeah.
and things arrive in 2 hours.
I
That's
don't
hard to
want
beat.
to, but I can't help it.
That's hard to beat.
It's the and this is a lesson for small businesses too, right? The convenience coupled with the price competitiveness. I've started buying really big bulky things on Amazon because they show up at my door and they are competitively priced to my grocery store. And you can put it on a delivery timer or whatever. as a small business, that's hard to compete with. I think if you're a small business, you're going to have to compete with experience, customer experience, delight, something you can't get anywhere, like really forcing you to get out of commodity.
I have
And
a
I think-
question.
Go ahead, Joshie, please. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ramon.
I was going to say, and it's amazing, just those who don't adopt technological innovations. We talk about this on Ivory Tower, but it's a real thing. My Dominican restaurant, nice people, nice food. But I'm like, dude, I got to wait in line. Dude, you don't accept this or that form of payment? Dude, why didn't you put on your website that you were closed on whatever day it was? It's just simple things like that. To your point, even the big people, not Ghost Kitchen, but whatever the website that may do. I think Easy Cater, easycater.com, for example. By the time I'm leaving, this guy who can't fulfill me, a friend of mine, I went on Easy Cater, food already in my house. That kind of thing. It's just hard to compete. So, it is what it is. Shashi, talk to us.
So, what message can we give small businesses that they do everything right, following the law, doing everything, like probably New York taxi drivers, right? And suddenly, all of a sudden, something comes out of the blue that challenges them and probably shuts down their livelihood. There must be something that people should keep watching out for, right? Like I think some corporate executive said sometime, like all the time they are wargaming how to get their company bankrupt. That gives them an idea of what steps to take to prevent that. Maybe we collectively can have some tips. Like I think one thing you said, Ramon, is like adopt technology.
Yeah. My
Right,
second tip,
that's
Shashi, I would say is don't be arrogant. Meaning, and then I'll pass the baton here, but I think, Shashi, arrogance, so you think of the Uber example in taxis, that didn't come out of the blue. And I'm sure many of us have been in taxis, but one who's a New Yorker, year after year after year, just metaphorically, my little world, dude, a block extra, why is it $20 more? Or I'm here, why is your cab stinking? Why is it smelly? Why don't you know? It's just, that didn't crop up on them. They could have innovated if they wanted, but that's a Kodak example. So my second tip, Shashi, then others please, would be just don't let arrogance keep you from innovating. Somebody, 2 girls and a cat, is in a garage somewhere to eat your lunch.
Good point.
Mic drop.
I was waiting for you to say that even.
You were?
Yes, I was.
Look at it.
All right. Interesting stuff. All right. Yeah. That went further than I thought it would. Really good. All right. So Leland pointed out something of great interest. I think it was either last week or the week before. All the DeepSeek stuff and all the they did it with $6 million. They replicated what we're, I guess, ChatGPT and OpenAI are doing. $6 million. People are like, $6 million. Well, apparently it might have been just a teensy tad bit more than $6 million. How about 1.3 billion as opposed to 6 million? Is anybody surprised that the number that the Chinese folks were putting out over in China?
You mean China lied?
6 million versus 1.3 billion. It's a bit of a far stretch, I would say. But are you surprised? Are you surprised that it really, what they sprung on us a couple of weeks ago, really was fake news to a certain extent? At least the price amount was fake news.
Not at all. I mean, yes, these corporate companies, there may not be the most efficient, but there's only so much efficiency that you can wring out of a process, and even if you're using very cheap labor from China, you got the bring your kids to work day every day kind of situation going on.
I shouldn't laugh at that, but that was kind of funny the way you positioned it. Bring your kids to work day every day. That's kind of funny. Sorry about that.
But even if you're doing that, there's component costs. It's a lot of money to buy the servers that you need to do, and I don't even think $6 million worth of servers, just if you were to just take that cost, could do train up a large language model the size of ChatGPT that could rival ChatGPT or Gemini or any of these others. And then there's electricity costs, personnel costs. $6 million just seems
Maybe they had Colonel Steve Austin do it for them. Only people in a certain age group are going to know exactly.
You know, you know.
Mr. Lawson, are you surprised by the edited cost from 6 million to 1.3 billion?
I think it's all bullshit, honestly. I mean, who knows how much it costs, whether it was 6 or 1.3? Who knows? Who
Which one do you think is closer to then? Let me ask you that.
I think it's probably closer to somewhere in the middle, which is still very cheap. I think it was less than $1 billion. How about that? Which is still very cheap. So,
Anybody else?
So, I mean, I wasn't focusing on the cost saving as much. I definitely thought that they were a little bit more efficient. So the numbers may be okay. But what they did was the exposing the chain of thought model, right? Like doing something different. So if I look at it and say any country that is challenged is going to try to innovate cheaply and do something different to gain attention. So that was what I was focusing on, and not necessarily the accounting part of it. If that makes sense.
I think from my perspective, what I thought what grabbed everybody's attention was the dollar amount. I mean, because what they were doing, what DeepSeek does, is it that much different from any of the others? Well, not much.
but it's a lot different.
I mean, it's not drastically different.
It
I
is
mean,
drastically
you might
different.
get some different. You might get some different results. You might get some more interesting results. And I'm sure it does some things a little bit, but the core of foundational aspects of what it does is, generally speaking, is about the same as all these other ones.
But
Well,
weren't
I'm
they
But
just
John,
saying-
what are
I'm
you
just
saying
saying-
is different, John? What are you saying
I'm
is
s-
different?
What's different is that the gap that we thought we had, which was a 2-year gap between our technology and China's technology, was evaporated in a day. It had nothing to do with how much it cost. I mean, that was kind of cute. It was like we did it cheaper. But it's like the fact of the matter is we thought ChatGPT was so far ahead of everybody, and overnight it's like, whoa, China got one too, and it's actually grading better than ChatGPT 4.
Yeah,
That was
technically speaking.
okay. I mean, I'm
DeepSeek
telling you,
is-
that's what
DeepSeek had been around for months, though. It wasn't like it was something that was brand new to people.
it had
who
been
are-
around just
Right.
months, just
It-
months.
Well,
Not
some,
this
some
model.
folks knew about it for like months.
Yeah,
I'm just telling
but
you.
just months.
But I'm saying, but ChatGPT, when you think about it, it really only been around for a couple of 2 years, a little over 2 years now. So it's not like we're talking about it was around for 10 years, and then all of a sudden this thing came out overnight. I think you're right. And let's look at everything that's going on with this AI stuff. Everything has happened faster. Last year we were talking about Gen AI. At the end of last year we were talking about agentic. Now we're talking about something else. You know, it's all happening pretty fast. I think, sure, China dropping it when they did and how they did, I think was a shock. But I think the thing that got a lot of people's attention was, yeah, they did it, and they're saying they were doing it for like not even a fraction. It's like a millifraction.
But weren't they using this is the part that I'm kind of confused about and would love somebody with a tech background to say something. Isn't this technology that they're all using, what would I call it? Iterative, right? Like it grows and then you use that technology, right?
Yeah, they're not using anything that they didn't get from somebody else.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, so, there were the early researchers from who knows, like 20 years ago when they were working on AI.
50 years ago, really.
Right, whatever that is, right? And new technology comes to be, you're integrating. So I was like, I was not at all surprised. I was not surprised. I was dubious about the money because once again, there was all kinds of infrastructural investment in technology in the overall knowledge space. Like, I can't believe people wouldn't have known about this DeepSeek from before it ever even existed.
Well, it's in China, so that's so even. I mean, it's in China, so everything's kind of buried there based on my experience. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Not surprised. And like you said, who said it's just going to be one next thing next week?
Let's just put it like this: ChatGPT 4.0 cost $100 million to. Is that what it says? $100 million. and you're saying that this was 1.6 billion. That just doesn't sound right, and that's why I think it's bullshit.
To me, it sounds more right than 6 million, but I'm sure it's somewhere
that's
in the middle.
fine. But I'm just saying that just sounds.
I don't
it's
think you
just-
can believe
all of
everybody.
it. All of it.
anybody on this.
All of it is speculative, and we will never know.
You know what I
So-
learned? You know what I learned when I worked in early databases and trying to pull reports from a corporate database? It all depends on what you ask for and what's counted in that billion or that 100 million. The definition of what's being counted is not clear and will never be clear.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the truth lies somewhere in between. Betwixt in between. All right. Here's a quick one for you. What is the average price of a dozen large eggs in California?
Now that's harder to figure out than how much it costs to train deep sea.
Take a guess. Average
Average
cost
price in California,
in California for a dozen large eggs.
$6.99.
I'm gonna say $9.
$12. Dollar an egg.
$12 a dollar an egg. Okay.
$9. Me too.
9. Yeah.
I'd say 749.
$7.49.
How much you pay?
I don't look at the
you
cost.
don't
I just
know.
buy it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm an egg addict.
No, I get a lot of eggs. I just don't look at the pricing.
Yeah,
I'm,
you
I'm-
know
how much it's
like I
costing?
must have eggs.
Mm,
All right.
Love.
The average price. A couple of people are right on it for the most
it's
part.
me for sure. It's yeah, $8.97. As I said,
$9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you said
$9.
$7.49, Ramon, but I could be
You
wrong.
sure?
I think
I paid-
Scotchy and the bold one got pretty much.
I am so
30
lucky. I paid $5.99 or $6.99 to get eggs delivered to me from my local farmer.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Organic eggs
Wow.
now are the same price as fake eggs.
fake egg, like fake news. We got fake eggs now. Damn. Well, speaking of this, the price of eggs, it looks like inflation is
Yeah.
Fastest
Not,
pace. Oh,
yeah.
We're moving
I
again.
thought it was supposed to go down immediately. Anyway, not gonna go there. Is anybody surprised right now at the state of the inflation?
It's going to get worse very soon.
Wait till the tariffs kick in.
That's what I'm about to say. It's about to get worse. You got a couple of things going on that's going to make it worse. You got the tariffs going on, and you got sectors with a high number of employees that are Hispanic. Let's put it like that.
So you talking about like farm work and
Yeah, you got food services, healthcare services, construction. Construction's about to be crazy because, for one, raw material is going to get extremely high because of the California fires, right? It's just going to. Man, I'm telling you.
But John, isn't that
What?
for the Hispanic people that are all the deportation, all things going on? Weren't we told that that'll help the black folk because the Spanish people are taking the black people's jobs? So that means you and I will have greater opportunity, my friend.
There you go.
Now that's what my understanding was in the election. Am I right? That's
There
what
you
the
go.
thing was.
They're
So,
taking
so
your jobs.
that's right. So John, we will have bigger opportunity, my friend. We have more opportunity. Oh, and Brent too. Yeah,
Get
Brent
building.
too.
Ramon, I want to see you out there.
Don't get
Get
me
back to
started.
your roots. Start
Tote-
picking some
toting that
some
bale.
veggies.
Is that what you think?
You
Don't
better
get me
start
started.
picking
I'm
some
not
veggies.
gonna, yeah,
Oh,
we're not gonna get him started on that.
Me, Brent, and John, we got more opportunities now.
Why?
Leland's got nothing, or even.
I've actually worked in the field, so I don't.
He's actually done it.
You didn't say that, Leland. You didn't say that just now. You raised an hand and say, "I've actually worked in the
He
field."
actually is a farmer.
I live in a
Oh,
rural community. I went and did FFA, and
Yeah.
you
What's
know,
FFA?
they
I don't
have
know
a-
what
they
that
have-
is.
Future
that,
Farmers
Farmers
of
of America?
America.
Oh, wow. Okay.
and
Okay,
they have a
period.
tradition in where farmers can come and how to say that, buy our labor at an auction, and then we work in the field.
Really?
Really?
There you go, guys. You have empathy now.
Did you ever,
Oh,
Leland?
Crazy.
Please, I say this insensitively. I hope I'm not crossing a page here. If I
You
am,
are.
Brent, let me
You're
know.
about to. Here
But
we go.
did you ever pick cotton, Leland? I'm serious. I'm just
Oh,
curious.
Not cotton.
God.
Not cotton.
Okay, all right, okay.
I've weeded fields. I've picked rocks out of fields.
Okay,
yeah.
we're good. We can move on. Brent, please take the show back, please.
It's
I was just curious.
kind of hard to
see.
follow the
Oh,
picking cotton
God.
question, but
I have a
We don't
theory
grow
on
cotton around here.
I know.
I have a theory on inflation.
How did we
If
get here?
inflation,
Go for it,
Shashi,
Shashi.
he's
Great
trying to
segue.
break the
Great
conversation.
segue.
Let's go to inflation. Shashi, please rescue us.
yes, we definitely need
I
rescuing
mean,
at this point.
here this is all pure speculation. If inflation goes up by mid-year, right, and the government manages to save 2 trillion, we are all getting a $6,000 tax
Refund.
back.
That's only if you've got well, of course, since Ramon said that you guys have private planes and
You got
all
it.
these things.
Brent
if that's
does.
the case, you will get some money back.
In other words,
No, but I'm talking about the 2 trillion we're going to save with all the tariffs and
with Doge,
yeah,
even Doge is saying we're not going to get 2 trillion.
So then
You know what?
$3,000.
If they hit some of those government contracts, they might.
I don't know. It's
But you
sounding. Oh, go ahead, Even.
I got a question for. I want to sort of take this along that line, but with a little different spin. Talking about efficiency and finding, because inflation is possibly going to go up, and so people are starting to think about how can I cut costs. So let's talk about that. If you are thinking about cutting costs in your business, what's a good 80-20 type of process, right? Where should you be going first?
Check
Do
your
you
credit
understand
card
my
Small
question?
statements.
business?
Go ahead, John.
No, I was just saying, in your small business, where
In
would
your
you
small
go?
business.
Check your credit card statements. That's what I just did. Check your credit card statements, all that crap that's recurring. It's not going to save a lot, but I test things, and every once in a while, okay, every month, $100 is going out. Don't need this. So big changes are hard because for me, for the smaller businesses, for at least creator economy, my overhead's very low anyhow. Now, if you're in retail, that's another thing. If you're manufacturing, that's another thing. So it depends on really the sector you're in. But for creator economy, there's very little I can cut so much.
I mean, usually it's employees. That's the easiest place to go and save money. Lay some people off.
That's not good for the economy, though.
Yeah, it's not, but I'm saying that's where they always go. That's the first thing that goes.
Usually they go to the salespeople and they're like, everybody sell 50% more than you thought you were.
All right, let me ask you guys this then. Since we're, I guess we're about a month in under the new administration, do you feel any differently about the economy now than you did before the end of the year?
No difference.
I feel zero difference, but I already knew where we were going. So you know what I'm saying?
And time will tell, I think, if it's going to be a smashing success or not. We need another 6 months,
absolutely.
8 months to know, really. So.
It's got to get baked in. I mean, and most of the changes haven't happened.
Right.
So,
and then the title takes some time, depending on what the change is on the executive order versus implementation versus then for us to see it in the economy.
And
But-
go ahead, John.
no, I was just going to say I had expected consumer sentiment would be better than it is right now.
Well, when
That's
eggs
right.
are $9 a
Right, yeah,
dozen,
yeah.
it's kind of hard for it to
Yeah.
feel much better. I guess.
I thought they would have taken care of that. That would have been so easy.
Yeah, but
Even,
That's,
you know,
that's
the bird
difficult
flu
because
thing.
they're
Yeah.
putting down chickens left and right. in
Yeah,
order to
that's
make
the
sure
difference.
that it doesn't spread.
yeah, I get it. But
All
they
right,
were
I
doing
gotta-
that but
I
they were
gotta
doing
ask
that
now.
before.
I was ready to
November.
say now all of a sudden
Yeah.
there were explanations for these prices
Yeah,
before January 20th.
exactly.
Now you're going to use those same excuses.
Well, after January
And
20th, I
mean it?
think they started killing more chickens. On January 21st, they started killing more. and really, and if you go to chickenfever.com, the fever of the chickens got higher on January 21st.
Oh my
The chicken fever got higher.
oh my gosh.
I mean, usually any administration's effect is only seen, like, I would say 3 years after they take over. So we are still
Oh my God.
good or bad.
Yeah, that's true.
But do the politicians say that that's the case? So basically what you're
Well,
saying, I'll just say, so if you're elected president for a 4-year term, it's only the last year that counts? Is that what we're saying?
It's the last year you see the results.
You see the results. Of
But
what you-
but if the results are good the first 3 years, don't politicians usually claim that they had something to do with
Of
it those
course
first
they
3
do.
years?
they claim it,
That's
but
their
that's
job. That's their job to do that. You know what
Exactly.
my dad used to say? It's their job to do this. It's your job to do what you're supposed to do. So
That's
their
right.
job is to do exactly that.
Every politician is going to claim the good and deny the bad.
Well,
Both sides.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly. But it does feel like one side is better about telling their stories than other side. I'll just say it like that. Not saying that they're any different. I'm just saying one side is really good about telling their side of the story and getting it to stick.
Well, that's because you're just making it up. So I mean, that's easy.
But Brent, you have a point about using the media sources and making stories sensational. To John's point, right? Like telling people what they want to hear in the medium that they are more apt to listen to.
Let me ask this, and it's all seriousness here. Why is it that for some people, and I'm saying generally here, although it could be applied to whatever, when some people say things and they know they're what the people hear, even if it's not really true, but it's what the people hear, and the people want to hear it and they feel better about it. One person could say it and get away with it. Another person could say it and they call BS on that person. And if I'm a small business person, I want to be able to be on that one, the side where I could say whatever and people believe it versus I could say whatever and people don't believe it. How do you gain? Is that an innate born skill, or is that something that we can develop? Because to me, if you can develop it, you should be trying to develop it, even if it's not necessarily the most positive thing in the world. But if you want people to believe you and follow you, even if you're lying, what can we take away from that? What kind of skill, what kind of lesson can a small business take away from that weird skill set?
I don't like the question, Brent. Seriously. I mean, I don't know if I agree with the premise of the question, but I want to hear others. The reason I say this, if I think I understand the underlying question you're asking, I believe that facts are facts, opinions are opinions, and I think that in our time, there's one or two people we just know they're hyperbole, they're a media machine. Everything they say is exaggerated by 10%, by 100%. So I don't know if I'm tracking what you're saying, but I just think that's a once in a lifetime. I think if, for example, y'all know I like to joke a lot. That's just me. And y'all give me grace on that. I like to have fun. That's me. But I think so I don't know if that's helpful, but I think that, so let me just stop there because I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but others may pick up what I'm trying to say.
First of all, why would we have a problem with you being joking? I mean, look who you're talking to here.
Yeah, but I thought you were tracking. I'll just take it further. The president, I thought you were saying, why can he say things? I thought that's where you're going. So I was saying he is an island. That's an exceptional. Of it. Yeah, but that's an exceptional of it. I think everything else we hold to some standard.
Okay.
Go ahead, John.
Okay. I don't know exactly where Brent's going because he's trying to be.
Yes.
I'm trying to be
PC about
general. I'm not.
He's trying to be PC about it. But one thing I will say that I did notice this week, okay, which is a pretty important week, when it comes to messaging. Your messaging needs to be simple enough for a fifth grader to understand. And I really believe that as we're talking about this administration, screw it. I'll just say it Trump is very good at saying what he wants to say in a way that most people can understand it at a fifth grade level. And there's not a whole lot of clouds around the things he says. And I think people get a little bit, I'm offended. And you're offended because he actually said what you were thinking. And that kills me. It's like, I appreciate that. Here's on the other side. We had this Super Bowl performance,
Oh,
which
boy.
was huge, right? However, for me, I thought the performance was it was okay. It was okay.
And me and you
But-
actually shared that in
Right.
our yeah. Exactly.
However, for me, if you have a good message, but you forget to put the stamp on the envelope and never put the address on the outside, how good is the damn message?
I
That's
agree,
the
John.
difference. So you see what I'm saying? So we had this message over here, and we have the president's messaging. And I think when the president puts out a message, it's way more clearer than when Kendrick put out a message. And that's the difference.
And John, I'll add two more things on that. I think that let us know, Brent, when you don't want us to get farther into politics. But I think going to that point, I said the same thing you said. Kendrick, again, was it artistically correct and all that? Sure, yeah. Me and my wife and other friends were sitting in the living room. We went, huh? Now, after our mutual friend Jamal, he posted a long form video,
Oh,
play by play about what happened. I was like, oh, he's a genius. But in the moment,
Right.
I didn't
But
want to think
is
that
he?
hard. And all my friends, were like, oh, Ramon, you don't get it. I'm like, sorry, I'm just a regular person. So that's one. And then I'll just mention again, I hope I don't get too much trouble here, but it's just thinking when President Trump said, we're going to take the Gaza, I'll just say, we're going to take Gaza, make it a hotel and all this stuff. I don't know if that's where you're going, John. He didn't literally mean that. He was kind of saying, we're going to make it good. And then everybody got in a
Okay.
tizzy and took it everywhere. So
don't
maybe I
get
took
it
it too far.
twisted. Don't get
Okay.
it twisted.
We can skip that then, John. Let's keep moving
No,
on.
I'm just
Oh,
saying he means it. That's
Okay.
the thing. People are trying to make it seem
Yeah, I
like
see what
he's
you
got
mean.
all. He actually means it. Take him at his word.
But
That's
we
what you
know,
need
John,
to
it's not
do.
going to happen. He has his staff to
I
massage
get
it.
it,
There's
yes,
never going to be
it's
hotels.
not-
I guess my point is, I
There
learned
will
that
be
with
some. Trust me, there will be some hotels.
yeah. And you can see it anyway. Go ahead, Eva. Go ahead.
I want to go back to Brent's original question, which is how is it that some people, right? And John answered it to a point. How is it that some people can say things and communicate things in a way? From my observation of your question, I'm like, I want to be that. I want to say all kinds of things and put tens of thousands of people in a fact-checking mode. The fact that they're like, if I stood up and said whatever I wanted to say, most people, like if I were to be extreme about it, people would like laugh and walk away and just, right? Because that is the issue that small businesses are facing. They're talking about their product. They're talking about their service. They're saying how great it is. And what are they getting back? Crickets. Meanwhile, there are people out there who have some type of magical something, someone like a Ramon or someone like a John or like all of you people. You like say things and people are like, yes, that's a gift. That's a gift. And I don't think, I'm going to say something controversial. I think you can learn elements of that. You can improve your skill. You can go from here to here, but you ain't going to be here like some people. Some people are just pure raw talent. They work hard. They improve on that skill. And some of us can work very hard, but we'll never be like a Kendrick Lamar.
And
who's
are
an
skilled in other
amazing
areas.
wordsmith.
But in fairness, thank you, Even. But and are skilled in just other areas. We all have different skills and
And
talents.
I
and how
mean,
we show up.
there's a reason why we have copyright.
But I think I agree with you all. The message being very simple, totally get it. Like I'll tell you my own experience. Like I had to come and relearn English here, right? So I mean, I think if Ramon Ray said anything today, I would believe him. I won't go and check. Right? Now, the second thing is the problem with the political situation before these elections was the focus was so much on not your product but somebody else's product. So between the combined effect of this is most people are looking at conversations and only remembering what was mentioned. They don't remember who was mentioned. They don't remember what was mentioned, what that person said. So both the sides actually kept putting this brand high, right? So small businesses should say, number one is from John's point, make it very simple. Number two, probably Ramon Ray said, is like make it believable. And don't focus on your competition as much. Just talk about your product.
Mic drop.
I'll add in an element, since we got this political landscape change and stuff like that. As a small business, try not to alienate yourself from half of the nation. Now, you can, within your personal time, fight for what you're going to fight for, but as a business, to go forward and say, I am in this camp, I am vehemently in this camp, and I have all the propaganda all over my shop, makes it very difficult for the other camp to potentially shop there.
Business, yeah.
And there was a video game store. Loved this video game store. All of a sudden, they became very, very, very one direction, to the point to where they were quite antagonistic to anyone that they saw was in the other camp. I stopped going because I didn't want to feel harassed, or I wanted to enjoy my shopping experience and not feel a little bit of dread or anxiety to go in. And so I see these businesses all the time, and they're rallying in and around one camp, and all of a sudden you see in their comment section, oh, I'm never going to go shop at you, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, yeah, I don't want to sell to you if you're supporting this person. Both sides. This isn't just one camp or anything like that. Both sides will do this. And it's like, why tie one hand behind your back? You're out to make money.
But that's not to say that you shouldn't stand for something, right? If you love animals, if you love cats, if you love dogs, if you love, say, whatever it is that you care about, that you're passionate about, I think that's really, really fine. And studies show that people want brands to show them what they stand for. But to your point, Leland, there's so many wonderful things to choose from that we all agree on and want to support.
And even though you're right on that, but Leland, I just got to push back on that. I hear you, but it doesn't. And I think it's good advice, especially if you're low on numbers and struggling through it. The least you can do is don't antagonize people. I agree. But a mutual friend of mine, Jennifer Jasper, her website, God Ain't Petty, But I Am. I bought a shirt from her, but had an airplane logo, the airplane stuff on it. I bought it. Leland, I have people in my community. Oh no, Ramon, are you progressively liberal, blah blah blah? Because they looked at her page and she's totally out progressive, totally anti, Trump. I'll just say whatever it is. So my point being, Leland, you get your point, but it's just no shame in it. Some people want to go hard and say, here's what I support. In fact, here's what I detest. I do not like this very publicly. Mm-hmm. And God bless them. Keep in mind, in America, there's half the country for, half the country against. So you can make a good business being for or against anything. Oh yeah.
I mean, I could see that too. It's like, oh, this is a bookstore and we just sell this stuff. Right. One side or the other, and then that's our customer base. I could see that totally. But if it's if you're a plumbing company,
all right,
sure,
yeah, everyone's your customer at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody famously said once, Republicans buy Nikes too.
That's exactly right.
Does anybody remember who said that?
Barack, I believe, right?
No.
Oh,
Michael Jordan.
Sound like something Barack would say though. He would. I thought but Michael Jordan. Good point. Yeah, you're right.
I just don't think that you have to be exclusive. No, excluding. You don't look. Whatever you do in your business, it should be more inclusive than exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
More when you have. I mean, if you're just a Home Depot, then you service the community.
That's right.
And I want to, and we should extend that to all things, because everybody gets on their own little righteous path. I remember when the people well, we won't make cakes for gay people. I mean, really? It's a damn cake. What are we doing here?
Well, they didn't say they wouldn't make cakes for gay people. They didn't say that, but I get your point. They said we won't make cakes with this writing on it.
For gay people. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
No, don't tiptoe, bro.
No, I'm not tiptoeing at all. No. Seriously, not tiptoeing at all.
They literally said we're not going to say gay. Well, that's what it was.
That's
it was
my
a gay
only point
wedding,
is,
and we don't support gay weddings because we're Christians. Really? I get it. But if is that what your shop is? The Christian cake shop? No, it's just a cake shop. Make the damn cake. I don't get that. Why are we doing that? That's just I don't know.
Would you be okay with because this happened multiple times with liberal baking shops rejecting pro Second Amendment, pro
happening.
life?
No, make your gun cake. I don't care. It's a cake.
No, but John, I disagree, John. I think that John, I get it, make the cake, John, but it'd be not good for me to go into a lady who's totally all vegan and say, just walk in there, hey, put I love pork on the cake. I get it, but now I'm trying to cause problems. Let her be her. Come on. It's not nice, John. I'm sorry, John. I hear you, but there's a difference to me. I'm not making it for people who eat pork versus you're coming into my store and paying for putting on there, I love pork. That's two different things. You're trying to be stupid. You're trying to be I'm sorry, John.
Let's put it like this.
I hear you, but I disagree with you on that,
Let's
John.
put it like this. If you do
Lucky
that,
you didn't ask for meat
no,
in the
you're gonna have
Vietnamese
problems.
vegetarian restaurant.
You're just going to have issues.
Yeah, I agree.
Why have
I agree.
issues when you don't need to have issues?
But I just wanted to educate you and everybody listening to us, as I often do. That's my role here, John. To educate when you go to stray. Brent will educate you overtly, proactively. I only educate you when you stray, John. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, okay.
You welcome.
All I want to know is, Ramon, can you give me the website URL for the pork cake maker?
The pork cake making.
Yeah, I'd love to get me a pork cake. We learned a lot of stuff today, folks.
We have, man. I need that T-shirt.
Yes.
Let them
God ain't petty, but I am. Check out God Ain't Petty, but I Am. If you want some interesting stuff from Jennifer Jasper, God Ain't Petty, but I Am.
Tell her to make the let them eat pork cake shirt too. That would be a really good one. And we learned Leland is
bacon filling.
Leland was struggling in the fields of Oregon. I mean, we learned that today.
Leland
Not
may
my
be
favorite
more black
job.
than I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Wow. What I almost don't want to end this one because we went
Yeah, I
all over
want to
the
end
place
it.
on this.
I want to end it.
But we shall, because it is that time, and I'm sure everybody is wants to get ready for whatever they're going to be doing this evening for St. Valentine's Day. So,
Going to my garden and picking.
oh wow, yeah, I forgot about the cotton picking question from Ramon. All right, so let's end this and let's get some parting thoughts. Shashi.
Oh, wow. No, I think, yeah. So I want to just reiterate what Ramon said is don't be arrogant, right? Like focus on your customers, serve them well. You'll probably stay in business for a longer time.
Or as Kendrick Lamar would say, be humble. I like that.
Be humble.
All right, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, laugh. Learn to laugh and take down the temperature. Unless it's so egregious, your family's life at stake or something like that. Most things we can agree to disagree. We can laugh, we can smile, and appreciate the humanity of each other.
And we can appreciate the new background that Ramon Ray presented.
Thank you, brother.
The cold one, the bold one, John Cold Rice.
Awesome. And, I want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And whether you're rocking that single life and investing in your own growth and your own self-love, I love that. Or if you're building something beautiful with your special someone, or if you're just spreading love to your family and friends, I really want to wish you the most happiest of V-Day.
Nice, very nice. I'm not even gonna say anything, snide or.
Yeah, after that, come on.
I'm just gonna let it go. And we're gonna go to Leland.
This is your friendly reminder. Get some flowers, get some chocolate, make that reservation, do whatever you need in order to make that special for that significant other.
And use that dulcet tone that you were just using.
Yeah, I like that.
So he leaned in too.
He got that from you, Ramon. And last but certainly not least, we go to Madam Mic Drop from Medina.
I don't know if I have a mic drop moment. I will say, on this Valentine's Day, think about the different ways that you would love your customer. And I mean that sincerely. When you love someone, what do? You think about the things they like and you get that for them, right? You might write them a little message or a little note. Show your customer how you can fall in love with them and then use what you learned there to differentiate yourself and your businesses stand out with something fun. Right? I love what John said. Be inclusive. Find something that we can all feel happy about because the world needs you.
Mm. And I'll just say it is Valentine's Day. I think it would be a really special gift to get your loved one a pork cake. It would be something different, I'm sure. And I'm sure it would be something that will be remembered for the rest of your life. And on that note, we will be back next week, next Friday. Enjoy the whole Valentine's Day weekend, and we will see you back next week.